2 games in, apologising for the way his team played.
No, but
that's a problem.
What can you do as a manager right now in this stage after a defeat like that against Brentford? First of all, you have to apologize because you also have to think about the fans that come out to support you. So that's the first thing. 2 games in, sitting at the bottom of the league is not the situation and the situation that he would see already in his early spell at United. But that being said, he has to take responsibility.
Thank you.
He will take responsibility for sure because he's the main man. He's the manager.
To put it on the players' toes.
Well, I mean,
they threw the game plan in the bin.
He did it bad. I've seen the interview yesterday. I've seen it. I've seen what he said also post match. So I've seen that he also put it on the players. But I entirely agree also with a part of him because the players have to do it also on the pitch. You are an extension of the manager, and the manager has to do responsible first.
Let me say that you're an extension of the manager. Agree 100%. Your personality, the manager's personality and character normally reflects on what a team looks and plays like. Right. What I would say about 2 things, you cannot blame him from individual errors. Right. You cannot blame him for David De Gea's first mistake. That's on the goalkeeper, right?
Great.
What I would say, Nigel, is he's been there a summer. Richard's right. He's had a summer to get to know his players, to formulate how he plays. He's got Steve McLaren there, who probably knows a lot of those players as well as he does, probably better, and others who he can tap into. He's obviously done that. He's started this season with 2 of the most insipid performances I've seen at the beginning of a season from any Manchester United side in my lifetime. Not just 30 years, but in my lifetime. And what disappoints me about him is, forget the mistakes, right? He didn't get it right, tactically. However way he wants to say it, he got it bang wrong, really wrong. But at 4-0 down, right? I want to see a reaction. I said to Richard yesterday, we'll see what Ten Hag's like, because I know that Fergie, Mourinho, Guardiola, Klopp, Conte. I know any of those coaches had been in that dressing room at half time. That team would have come out second half and we'd have seen a reaction. What I saw was a little rise in levels, a little. But did I see them getting at it, getting in? Did I see an intensity in their play that shouldn't be? It shouldn't be demanded. It should be a necessity if you're a footballer. You know that. You have to play with an intensity.
At the same time, he made 2 changes in his back 4.
Exactly.
Left full back, and he suddenly had realised after 45 minutes that he can't play a 5'9" centre back in the Premier League. You certainly can't at Brentford. So he puts
well, he
what
can.
Did he not know, or what did he learn in that 45 minutes that he should have known picking his team going into that match?
Well, it depends, obviously, against who you're playing against. And Brentford, obvious, is like one of the top teams when it comes down to set pieces. Yeah. And corners. And they're very strong when it comes down to that. So he knows that. He knew that from the start, and that's why I was so surprised. The way how they started in the first 45 minutes, and that's all what I was said. You said you were spot on when it comes down to, as a manager, you have to give a certain reaction. The players are a reflection of the manager. If a manager goes in, you know that as well as a former player. When a manager goes in and says, like, listen, Andy, if you don't play today and you perform, I swear down, I don't care what kind of contract you have, you're out of here. So this kind of reaction reflects on a player. A player will give an extra 20 or 30%. We haven't seen that. So does that say something about the manager itself? Does that say something about Ten Hag? How he deals with his players inside of the dressing room? Is he not hard enough, or is he more of a coach?
Do you really
or is he more of a coach that just wants to keep everybody happy? You understand what I'm saying?
I think Keith would agree with us here. The one thing I would say in defence of Ten Hag is what he has inherited is bang average. Yeah. And there was a headline you showed there, Richard, that said weak-willed and something else. That sums up this bunch of United players. It really does.
Let me come back to my first point, because what we know is not very good. We know that. But they're not helping him in any way, really.
No.
So why are they not helping him? I just went to sleep last night thinking, there's something here not right. Is it that they want to make another change? Are they saving the money for someone else to spend? Because I cannot believe,
Richard, they can't keep
United
chopping and can't keep changing the manager.
No, but you've quickly, Richard. It wasn't Richard Arnold's decision. You've quickly realised that we got the wrong man. I sat with Ruud Gullit yesterday. Yeah. There isn't a Dutch coach had an impact in the Premier League.
Not a sustained.
De Boer was gone after 5 games at Palace.
Yeah.
You want to come and play tic-tac-toe, as I said. You want to come and re-educate us. Dutch football has been left behind as Spaniards, Portuguese, Germans, and others have taken the reins. Mm-hmm. And you boys are still trying to convince us that total football's the answer. And I mean, the second goal yesterday.
No, listen. Tell you what a good coach does when he goes into a club, right? He may want to impose his character, his style of play, but you can only do that if you have the tools at your disposal to do that. So what he needs to do is go in and say, right, what have I got there, right? Now, it might be against what I believe, but right now, until I get the group I want, till I sift out some and get others in, and I'm satisfied with what I've got, what we're going to do is we're going to slightly change it and alter it, right? I mean, yesterday was a classic example. Mm-hmm. You know, it was a of getting things wrong. They couldn't have got it more wrong, Manchester United, in that first 45 minutes.
From the choice of the starting 11?
From the pattern, the game plan. He said the game plan was a good one, but the players let him down. Maybe, but I'm not so sure. I don't know what the game plan was.
Don't you think? I really don't. If I look at United as a whole, especially as an organisation, I really think they're lacking a good sporting director. Just a main guy, because the board. No, listen to me. Listen to me when I try to say this. The board has to take responsibility. We all know the Glazers have zero knowledge about football, in general, whatsoever, because it's all about the business.
For 10 years to be winning everything the game was available.
I understand.
They weren't getting aggravation then, were they?
They spend over £1 billion on players or whatsoever. Okay, but
it's not.
It's not their fault. I'm just saying to you now, at the situation that you see right now at United, there is something that's lacking, especially also in knowledge of football. Knowledge of football. If I had a proper sporting director, and who could say the things that who could say the things to a manager from a football pointer's perspective, and also the players that he needs as a tool.
Do you think
because
where a Dutchman
where is Ten Hag?
Seriously,
yes, and you know that because you're dealing with a Dutchman, so you can tell me a lot of stuff.
Really, never been able to tell you anything.
You guys can tell me anything. If I agree, it's another thing. But there you go. Have a discussion.
But Nigel, he's got Steve McLaren there. Now, I'm talking. You don't need a director of football. If you have Steve McLaren, who operated under one of the best coach in football, Alex Ferguson, learned from him, must have picked up things from him, coached on his own, walked in the Premier League. I mean, what do United need a director of football for when they have Steve McLaren?
You need somebody on that position. Fergie was the outside category. You cannot change that situation.
Do you think a director of football at Liverpool tells Jurgen Klopp anything, or at Manchester City?
I think there is. Yes, I think Bergistan at Man City, especially together with Pep Guardiola, they have a good understanding. Together with Guardiola, they have a good understanding to attract players and which players are suited for the team. At United, you don't have that. Ten Hag is not the one who can choose the players from above together with a sporting director. So what you get,
who chose Lisandro Martinez? Whose idea was that? 55 million for a kid that plainly cannot play at centre back in our league.
Did he get any feedback, or maybe?
No, but he wouldn't be getting feedback.
You understand it?
He knows the player. He's adamant.
I understand, but you need, especially at Liverpool as well. Klopp has to do the same thing with his sporting director. See if he fits in the team, yes or no. There is no understanding. There's a big gap between the manager, who's Ten Hag, who wants to do everything by himself, and the board of members. And between that is nothing. So that's the problem that you have right now at United, is there is so much going on behind the scenes that the players thinking about, oh, you know what, I can do whatever I want because I have a manager here who will be maybe going to be out in the next 2 or 3 months.
I thought he was a disciplinarian. I thought he was coming in to lay down the law and start.
Well, we see that's not the situation right now. I don't have a textbook on what Ten Hag is like as a manager, but we can tell now from the first 2 games that it's still a chaos.
Do you accept that there's a gulf between managing Ajax and Manchester United?
Of course. I mean, you cannot compare the two. No. You cannot compare the two. But the decision that United make to go with Ten Hag is their decision. So I have to take responsibility.
How long are they going to stand by it?
That is something that the board of members have to agree.
Surely,
and it's also
they can't, surely. If Liverpool turned them over, what did they do last year? 5, was it? At some time? Yeah. If Liverpool turned them over 4 or 5 at the weekend, right? Yeah. Would the pressure mount them so much that they'd have to go? I don't know.
Here's somebody
has to give somebody time at United.
The right man.